Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rips, and of course I am your host, your YouTube messiah and often imitator, never duplicators, superstar Tim Vicious. Gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Knoxville, Tennessee, and before we do, we gotta switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Well, it started out with Charlotte and Ronda doing a contract signing for their upcoming I Quit match at Backlash. Adam Pearce is there to officiate the event. Charlotte's out there, Ronda's out there, and then crowd was chanting, "You tapped out to Charlotte," which, God bless, Charlotte is fucking really right on the dime. Man, the second they do, she stops dead in the tracks. "I was fixing my bra," which, fucking line of the entire segment. Best line out of the entire segment. I fucking fell over laughing on that. Like, it was just, you know, no different than like hearing George Costanza and Seinfeld saying, "I was in the pool! There's shrinkage!" Like, that, yeah. Perfect timing. So, they go to do the contract signing, then Adam Pearce is like, which, now we can sign the contract, which is not here. So, if my protege, who I'm still training, Adam Pearce, or Drew Gulak could come out here, which I know a lot of people are pissed off because, oh, Drew Gulak's being wasted, he's being forced to do this and this. Guys, fucking just stop. He's getting a chance to be on TV. And not only that, you know, any chance to be able to work, you know, and any chance to be able to work is a good thing. And an old lesson I learned, and this doesn't just go with wrestling, but with life in general, when it comes to a job, the more feathers you can put in your hat, the better, the more reliable a place is going to see you when you're working. So just think for a moment. The more feathers you can put in your hat while working in WWE, and for Vince McMahon, the more reliable Vince is going to see you. The more he's going to look and say, you know, we may not be using him for matches, but what if we could use him for this or something else? I mean, for fuck's sake, MVP was a producer before he eventually wound up getting turned into an on-screen character. So, either way, Gulak's out there, he then brings it out, and then next thing you know, Ronda and Charlotte had their little back and forth for the contract, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make you tap, I'm going to make you say I quit, Charlotte, blah, blah, blah. Quitting's not in my DNA, Ronda, blah, 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 blah. Charlotte signs, then ensuing brawl. Charlotte attacks with a hidden Singapore cane. Ronda gets the cane. Pearce and Gulak pull Ronda off of Charlotte. Charlotte gets out of the ring. Ronda then proceeds to sign the contract while having an armbar locked in on Drew Gulak. So, the other highlights of the show. Xavier Woods had a match against Butch. Woods wound up getting the win, and honestly, my big highlight was at the end, Kofi stole Butch's scally and then did the Pete Dunne pose as they were walking off. Butch wound up eventually disappearing, Sheamus and Ridge said. So, where's Butch? Other big highlights, Randy Orton and Riddle were there were at SmackDown. They met up with Drew Gulak. They were just jawboning, and Riddle said that he talked to Pearce to have them be special guest lumberjacks for McIntyre's upcoming lumberjack match, which then Sami Zayn's in the background, and then proceeded to go to Roman's locker room, talked about on how, you know, he heard Randy and Riddle talking to Drew about Roman behind their back, and then Roman's just like, they're talking about me. Looked over at the Usos. Keep my name out their mouths. Get to that in a minute. Other highlights. Madcap Moss had a match against Angel Garza, but the big story from that was more so before the match, Baron Corbin approached Moss, said, you know, how I acted was wrong, you're more than welcome to come back. Moss then said no, and then made a really bad receding hairline joke. After the match, Moss won. Corbin then attacked him and then stole the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy. Yeah. Riddle had a match against one of the Usos. I think it was Jay. I can't remember which one. They both look, this may be a bit of a shock, but they're twins and it's hard for me to distinguish which one's which. Shocking, I know. Other big highlights. Then we had the lumberjack match with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, which, not a big fan of lumberjack matches. But, like I said, at one point the Usos then came out, super kicked Randy Orton, and then, after that, then it was big hullabaloo, all sorts of blah. It went crazy, and it was banana! And then McIntyre flew over the ropes, took out everyone, and while he was doing that, the Fox wound up censoring the crowd chanting "Holy shit," while Sami Zayn ducked out and ran out through the crowd, which, I gotta say, having somebody actually run out and get a counted out in a lumberjack match, that's pretty creative. I haven't seen that. I can't recall if that's been done. But, yeah. Then Adam Pearce then came out, whoa, hold it right there, Sammy. You see, you want to keep on running off. Oh, no, we are not going to do this. So next week, you're going to have a match again against Mr. Drew McIntyre. And this time it's going to be in a match you cannot run away from. It is going to be in a solid steel cage match. So yeah, this Friday coming up, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, steel cage match. There you go. So with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw in Knoxville, Tennessee starts out with the roster out there surrounding the ring. Riddle in there. Sup, bros? Now I'd like to introduce my friend and my tag team partner, Randy Orton, to celebrate Randy's 20th anniversary of being not just in the business, but with WWE. I found it funny. Just on a side note, I find it funny because you look back on it a couple years ago when AEW first started and everyone was making speculations which WWE guys would jump to AEW, this, that, and the other. Right around that time was when Randy's contract was first starting to come up, and people were speculating, oh, could you imagine if Randy Orton goes, Randy's going to go, it's definite, Randy's going to go, no problem, blah, 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 blah. My first thought was, man, he ain't going to fucking go. He ain't going to go. You really think he's going to go? Bish, please. He's WWE for life, man. You got a better chance of getting blood from a stone. He's smart enough to know on how to work the people into thinking shit like that. And, an old lesson Papa Vicious taught me at a very young age. You can't con a con man. I knew that. I knew he wasn't gonna. You can make all them sly little comments and jokes all you want. Nah, dude, you ain't gonna. But yeah, Randy then comes out. We get a nice little video package highlighting his illustrious career, seeing when he debuted on SmackDown to all the time he had with Evolution, then Legacy, Legend Killer, all that into now with RK Bro and all that. And Riddle and Orton, Randy now just like, I'm having the most fun I've had in my entire career, and it's all thanks to you. You, my buddy, my friend. Then Seth, who's sitting ringside, or sitting by the commentators, and I'm openly admitting I'm stealing this joke from Swerve Strickland, because he said it. Seth looking like a spearmint gum pack, on how his suit was, then comes out because Seth then interrupts because Riddle brought Cody out, which was like, ooh, it's a legacy reunion. And then it was like, no. You see, contrary to popular belief, Cody, this ain't about you. This is about Randy. And then Seth wound up, as Seth is doing all of that, he's making it about himself. Which then Ezekiel winds up stepping in, trying to stop him, and then introduces himself. I'm Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother. Which then Kevin Owens jumps in. No, you're not. You are not. You are Elias. You are a liar. I don't know how you passed that polygraph test last week, but I will find a way to prove it. You are a liar. I hate liars. And then next thing you know, we had the Usos come out. They start running their mouths about their tag match coming up at Backlash. And then Adam Pearce comes out and is taken over by the power of Teddy Long players and then proclaims, for a main event tonight, we are going to have an 8-man tag match players, because we are going to have Cody Rhodes, Ezekiel, Riddle, and Randy Orton going one-on-one with the Undertaker. No, wrong part of Teddy Long takeover. He's going to go in an 8-man tag match against the Usos, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. Holla. We'll get to that match in a little bit. So first match of the night, excuse me, Sonya Deville, excuse me, god damn, Sonya Deville going against Bianca Belair, which, okay, first and foremost, Sonya Deville, ring gear, brought back some memories from an S&M chick I chased after back in my younger days. Yeah. So the match wound up actually... yeah, kind of match, but the match wound up getting restarted twice. First because Bianca threw Sonya over the commentator's table and then got counted out. She then proclaimed there was a wet spot underneath there, so she insisted on the match being restarted, so that with no countouts. Then they started brawling outside the ring, grabbed a hand. Sonya had a handful of Bianca's hair. Bianca then had it back, threw him over into the timekeeper's corner. Then Sonya then grabbed a chair, smashed it on her. Ref called for a DQ finish. Then Sonya said, no, I was using a chair in self-defense because she was using a hair. So we're restarting this with no DQ. Then Zelina Vega and Carmella came out, which, oh boy. I didn't need heart pills before. Then they came out, and yeah, it then became a 3-on-1 beatdown, which Bianca then beat the odds on, got a KOD on Sonya Deville, 1, 2, 3. That was it. After the match, in the back, they showed Sonya yelling at Zelina and Carmella, saying, you know what? You guys were supposed to help me with this. I was supposed to get that. So you know what? I didn't get what I want. So you two ain't getting what you want. You ain't getting your tag title rematch. And then Zelina went to go and Zelina then took a shot at Sonya. Sonya then wham to Zelina, Carmella. I'm an official. Remember? You hit me. You'll regret it. Okay. And then Sonya wham! Slapped her. So next matchup we had Veer, Mahaan going against another local town jobber, which I'm not saying this in a negative way, but more so trying to in a comical, but it's probably not going to come off that way. Dude kind of looked like A-Train back in the day, just minus all the chest hair. But yeah, it was what you would imagine. Veer got the win. Next up we had a mixed tag match with Dana Brooke and Reggie going against Akira Tozawa and Tamina. And this came to be because they showed a backstage segment where R-Truth, who is also a certified couples counselor, insisted that these two couples needed to deal with their issues and thus proclaimed that they needed to have a mixed tag match. and he is going to be the special guest referee because he's also certified as a special guest referee. R-Truth is a goddamn national treasure that needs to be cherished for all fucking time. Ron Killings is a goddamn national treasure. I don't care on how many people want to say, oh, he was a former world champion, he deserves this, he deserves that. Dude, he's fucking working, and he's, the man is making a fucking solid living, doing what he loves, and he's got like a fucking direct pipeline to everyone that watches Funny Bone. So how the hell can you get pissed at what he's doing, man? In all seriousness. Because I guarantee if he wasn't doing this shit in WWE, you know, he would be working YouTube matches in AEW. Or that'd probably be it. Because it's sure as hell not like they would have him going against Matt Cardona for the NWA title. So with that said, back to the match. It was really kind of a quick clusterfuck, kind of You know, Akira Tozawa got the win as doing a senton onto Reggie. But as he was going up doing it, he got up to the top, looked at Tamina, I love you! And then jumped and did it. 1, 2, 3, they got the win. Then Truth tried to do a quick roll-up onto Dana Brooke, being the ref for his own 24/7 title capture. Brooke got out of it and then proceeded to hightail it out, which, like, alright, that was close. That was quick. Soon though, R-Truth will get his baby back. Next up, we had Finn Balor going against Damian Priest, which Damian came out with Edge sitting in his chair, in his throne, watching from on high, just sitting there, which, not gonna lie, really fucking cool to see. Really cool aesthetics. You know, I fucking dig it. Now, nice good brawl, Priest leading into the break. Post-break, Balor wound up bleeding, and it was going good for him right up until the end when he was getting ready to go up for the coup de grace. Edge then proceeded to get up from his chair, stood up, and just locked eyes on Finn. Finn like, whoa, what? Turned around, Priest gets him, hits him with the South Side of Heaven chokeslam, and then does this kind of modified freaking like face buster thing on him. Gets a 1, 2, 3. That was it. Also, I know I don't normally talk about promos or segments, but this one I definitely do, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a brain duster for this. I'm sorry, but Becky Lynch came out talking about on how, you know, for the past 3 years, she's had the Raw Championship. She don't know what she's like without the title. She's at rock bottom. And then as she starts slowly turning the promo into almost like a Gollum thing, saying she's got nowhere to go but up. And soon she'll have her precious again. Then we get the return of Asuka. Asuka then comes out, says she will stop you because no one's ready for Asuka, and then boops Becky right on the nose, which Asuka's back, so excuse me. Yeah, Doc? Yeah, Tim? Yeah, I'm gonna need an extra refill on that medication. Thanks. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Alright, thanks. Bye. Yeah. So next up, we got Miz doing a match, and this came to be because Miz was doing a Miz TV segment with Austin Theory, well, now just Theory, which, you know, people want to get mad about name changes or name shortenings, but, you know, to put it blunt and simple, WWE wants to own the intellectual property. It makes fucking sense. I don't see where the issue is. You know, and honestly, Eric Bischoff put it best explaining it about the whole concept of how to about owning for intellectual property. Think of it like this. It's beachfront area. Just beachfront area, nothing on it. You're renting that area, okay? You build this big, beautiful condo. It's your dream home. Everything you wanted. It's built to your specific dimensions. It's down to the last line of paint. It is down how you exactly want it, and it is picture fucking perfect. And then the owner of that beachfront area then says, "That's a nice building you just built for me." Well, it's mine now. No, it's on my property though, so I own it. Same concept. That's what it is. It's, you know, they own that land. So yeah, same concept with it. I don't see on how hard this is to grasp. I get we don't like name changes. I get we don't like character changes and all that shit. But dude, fucking go with it. Just try and ease into it a little bit if you fucking can, man. Just, ugh. Either way, Miz is there talking with Theory, talking about on how Theory is a great new U.S. champion, and how he's got nowhere to go but up and up and up. And then we get the return of Mustafa Ali. Ali then comes out, get a nice pop for him. And I know some people want to say, well, why didn't they do it in Chicago last week when they were there? Okay, dude, it wasn't the right time. Remember, Theory won the title then. So you can't have Theory sitting there gloating on how great he is, talking about on how he's got nowhere to go, on how he's going to be the greatest, if he just already frickin' won it. You know, let him have some time and sit and soak and marinate in that greatness, so that way he oozes it even more to where you're like, I can't stand that motherfucker. Simple. So, Ali comes out, then talks about on how Miz is pretty much like horse shit, paraphrasing mind you, and then Theory looks at Theory, since you're U.S. champ, I was kind of hoping you would do like other U.S. champs have in the past and put up an open challenge, because I'd be more than willing to accept. And then Miz was like, whoa, you don't get to jump in on my show, talk to me, and then my guest like that. No. Now if I had a magic wand and the authority, I'd make a match right now, so that way I could teach you a lesson. Theory then wound up interrupting. Well, I do. What? I just text messaged Mr. McMahon and asked if you could have the match. He said yeah. So there you go. And Miz just looking like, thanks. So now we come to Miz going against Mustafa Ali, which had a nice good pace, and it was a good welcome back party sort of match for Ali. And I know everyone's been, now yes, he has not been on TV since October of last year. At one point he did go on there openly saying he did ask for his release, he was denied, and he's been sitting at home basically since then. I've always been under the argument of, listen, if you're not happy at the job, quit. And if they're not going to let you get out on, and if they're not going to grant you your release, then you know what you do? Go home. Go home. Sit out on your contract. They're either going to cancel it, or you're going to wind up, or they'll either cancel you, call you and say, hey, we got something for you, or do something. They'll, it's that simple. I mean, honestly, if I was in his position, I asked for my release, I got told no, and Creative had nothing for me, and I'm just sitting in the back in catering, I'd fucking go home, get in the best fucking shape of my life, and all the while getting things set up on the DL for if and when I get released, all the while waiting to see, okay, are they going to do something with me or not? And if they are, alright, great. I got that stuff. I don't need to worry about that stuff. And then get back in it. Really dug the match. Like I said, I dug the match for what it was, as a welcome back kind of party match for Ali. He got the win, countering the figure 4 into a roll up, 1, 2, 3. That was it. After the match, Ali's up on the apron. Yeah, and then boom, blindside sneak attack by Tommaso Ciampa, which, oh, way cool to see. So we go from Ali interjecting himself into a U.S. title feud to starting to build up a feud now against Tommaso Ciampa. Beautiful, love it. Now we come to main event of the night. Cody Rhodes, Ezekiel, which WWE's got a lot. WWE must see a lot in Elias's younger brother. If he's only been on TV for about 3 weeks now, and he's already main eventing Monday Night Raw. So good on Ezekiel. Cody Rhodes, Ezekiel, Riddle, and Randy Orton going against the Usos, Kevin Owens, and Seth Elizabeth Rollins. Yes, I said Elizabeth because his middle name is not frickin' Seth's middle name is Elizabeth. So, as far as the match went, there was a brawl before the bell, and then there was all sorts of gaga, mayhem ensuing. And then had some nice action with Cody being the punching bag for a small bit, which honestly I was not expecting, but I'm cool with. Then Riddle wound up then Riddle transitioned into being the team punching bag for the match. It was decent. I dug the shit out of it. Randy wound up getting the tag in. It wasn't like a quick random, oh, come on, give me in. It was more so Usos were working on Riddle. Riddle wound up hitting a move and then actually had so much money. He fell into the corner and then Randy was just like, tagged himself in, and then came in, started cleaning up house. He wound up doing that, belly to back onto the table, onto everyone at one point. And big brawl, brouhaha going over. And then as the match came to an end, Randy popped an RKO on everyone. It was like, Seth Rollins, you get an RKO. Uso 1, you get an RKO. Kevin Owens, you get an RKO. Uso jumping off the top rope, you get an RKO, and then pin him 1, 2, 3, that is it. Match is done. Your winners, Cody Rhodes, Ezekiel, Riddle, and Randy Orton. That's it for that match. Now, if I was going to complain about anything, I'd complain about the fact that they never followed up on how the hot finish was the last week with Cody being tossed off the ropes, with grabbing his ankle like, but yeah, that's just me splitting hairs and, being that hyper-observant motherfucker. But either way, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, folks, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure you all check it out. It's on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that good shit, YouTube, all that good shit. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, make sure you go check out whatamaneuver.net for some Vicious Rants apparel. Check it out. Help support the show in some way, shape, or form. Also, don't forget to follow these classcasts on Twitter. Kenny Killer DSB _IB Diabolica RA. Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell you, and like the shirt says, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck